We're here with another episode of Conversations and Connections. We're the official podcast of the Family Crisis Center of East Texas. I'm Stuart Burson, the Prevention Coordinator for the agency. And with me today, we have one of our interns who's about to say goodbye, Tess Rowland, who's been an intern with us during the fall semester here at the agency. And, you know, I've had interns here on the program in the past. But Tess, you interest me because you're not the traditional intern that we normally have. You know, typically when we have interns, they're going to be in social work, counseling, most of the time. But of all things, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's hospitality.
Yes.
So hospitality and the Family Crisis Center. So what does the hospitality we'll talk about what you've done as far as your internship in hospitality here at the Family Crisis Center. But what does the hospitality program entail? First of all, you are going to, is it SFA?
Yes.
So you're going to SFA. So what does the hospitality program really entail?
Well, the hospitality program covers wide ranges. It goes from hotels to meeting and events, restaurants, and anything in between.
Okay.
It can be a little B&B or a high corporation like Marriott, or a nonprofit. It can be a regular corporation. But the main focus of hospitality is to give guests, people, the best experience they can have.
Okay.
So rather if it's in a restaurant or here at the agency with services, it's the best we can give.
Okay. So kind of going back a little bit on the focus. So this could be, I know you and I just in casual conversation in the past, you've talked about a food and beverage class and things like that. So I guess someone with a degree in hospitality, which this is kind of cool because you could probably do a multitude of different things with this, I guess.
So with SFA, you get a degree in hospitality and you choose a focus.
Oh, okay.
So you get trained in all aspects with food, with lodging, with travel and tourism.
Okay.
And then your focus goes in more in depth. So my focus is meeting and events. So it's going to be more heavy on the event side than food and beverage.
All right. So leads us up to our next topic. What were some of the projects that you were involved with while serving as an intern here at the agency? So
my two biggest projects was Passion for Purple and the STOP training, or the Strategic Tactics for Optimal Protection.
Okay.
That is a mouthful.
So what does that entail? I mean, I know what these events were, obviously. So what kind of a hand did you have? What was your responsibilities in planning or helping to make these events happen?
So when I first started, I jumped right in the middle of Passion for Purple planning. So I created RFPs, which is requests for proposals. So I sent them to caterers to see if they would send us a bid for us to have food from that caterer. I sent emails, for phone calls, for raffle and door prizes, anything and everything. It could have been big. It could have been sending thank you emails, reaching out to florists and all of the vendors that events need.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I know just my involvement in Passion for Purple and the STOP training, the morning of, you're right there running around, setting things up and making sure everything kind of falls into place. Well, that was cool. And again, that's one of the reasons why, whenever I was thinking about planning this podcast, and nothing, of course, obviously nothing against other interns, because that is probably the main focus of what we do. It's going to be social work, counseling, and things like that. But, being in hospitality, I just thought that's just kind of a neat little twist and a new perspective on what someone would do. So what are a few things that you feel, and I'll ask every intern that's ever been on this podcast, I've always asked them this, what are a few things that you feel you're going to take away from your experience here at the agency?
I think I would take away the environment. It's different than your typical hospitality environment I think some of it is because it's a nonprofit, so y'all are more like a family. Y'all are closer together rather than a typical hospitality. It's a bunch of corporal. You're all running together. It's all interconnected, but you might not know faces in another department. But here, you know everybody.
So, what is your classification right now, or grade? I'd say grade level. You're in college, but are you a junior, senior? Are you getting ready to graduate soon?
Yes, I just after this semester, I am now considered a junior. I was in the weird middle spot. I wasn't a sophomore, but I wasn't a junior. But now I'm officially a junior.
Well, congratulations. So, whenever it came time to try to find an internship, would you have ever thought you'd be involved in an organization like the Family Crisis Center? You know, probably most people would think of a restaurant or a hotel or a maybe a venue, you know, or something like that. But the Family Crisis Center of all places, did you know about the Family Crisis Center? Were you familiar with the agency?
Yes and no. I wanted a nonprofit for a internship.
So you were specifically wanting something like that.
But I wasn't for sure if I was going to get it because the hospitality is more hotels and restaurants. So I was hoping, but I never thought I would actually be able to be here.
Right.
And I absolutely love it. And I did know Family Crisis Center, but when I came here, I didn't realize how much y'all actually did. How many counties y'all covered. I thought it was more local, like Angelina and Knack.
Right. Okay, great. And this is something I usually ask everyone. What inspired you? What was it about Tess that, it's time to go to college, Tess, and this is what I want to major in, is hospitality. What is it about this that just really interested you to pursue this line of study?
Well, funny enough, when I went to college, I didn't know what I wanted to do.
As with a lot of people, and a lot of people don't.
Yes, and I wanted to do, my heart's always in outreach and nonprofits.
Okay. And
so I was like, what? I didn't really want a business degree. So, and it was a showcase Saturday at SFA, and it was a hospitality, like, recruiting table. And when they all talked about it, I was like, this is where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
Because I want to help people, even if it's a small help, if it's a big help. I want to see if I can make a difference, even if it's putting a smile on someone's face.
Sure. So I know you're just a junior, and you got some studying ahead of you. Do you have any idea yet where you want to take this? Like after you graduate, do you have a specific goal in mind of career-wise, a specific place that you want to do, or specific line of work? You kind of hinted, the nonprofit sector, but do you have anything in mind? Like where are you going to go after you graduate?
I have no idea. I do know that I want to continue helping people and trying to make a difference, but job-wise, I have no idea where I want to go or what I want to do. I might be in a total different spectrum.
Right. Well, like I tell everybody, you are a young woman. You have your whole lifetime ahead of you to figure something like that out, right? So I want to just kind of get to know you just a little bit. Are you from this area? Are you from the Lufkin Nacogdoches area?
Yes, I have been in the Lufkin Nacogdoches my entire life. I don't know what's else.
Okay.
I mean, I have traveled outside, and it's like, there is more outside of what I know.
Right. Do you have these grand ideas or dreams of after you graduate moving off and moving to a metropolitan area or a bigger city? Do you think you'd like to stay here in this area or an area like the Lufkin Nacogdoches, stay more rural focused, or do you want to see what the world has to offer and see what the more metropolitan areas are all about?
I would love to travel and see other places. I might do city to be in a city or more metropolitan area to gain experience. But I love the rural area. a yard. I really love a yard. The older I get, I realize I am just a simple country girl.
Well, hey, and there is nothing. Some people are city folks. Some people are more in line with the rural way of life. But again, like I said, I'm not trying to sound like the wise old man here, but you do have your whole life ahead of you, and and it's like you said. I'm glad you're kind of rooted in reality. A year from now, you don't know what you might want to do, right? So you just never know. But Tess, I appreciate you taking some time, and you were such a good sport when I told you a couple of weeks ago, hey Tess, what do you think about being on the podcast? And sometimes people will kind of tense up and like, oh, I don't know, but you were just like, yeah, sure.
Gotta get out your comfort zone soon enough.
Excellent. Tess, thank you so much. And I just want to say it was really, I really had a very good experience working with you, on a few things, when we were working together with Passion and Purple, helping. Now, I was not really involved in the planning, but the hands-on, hey, we're putting this together this morning. We're setting up tables, setting up tablecloths, putting up banners and whatnot. It really was, I think you got a very good work ethic, and so I hope you really go far in whatever you decide to do.
Well, thank you.
Sure. So that was Tess Rowland. She is our intern, or one of our interns, this semester here at the Family Crisis Center. She's a hospitality intern studying at SFA. So if you feel like you need the services of the Family Crisis Center, I always like to let everybody know we do have our toll-free hotline. It's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's 1-800-828-7233. And also, be sure you do subscribe to Conversations and Connections. You can do that via Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, pretty much any podcast service of your choice, wherever you decide to listen to your podcast. Remember, be the voice. If not for you, for someone else.